now to go live. Let me set up everything. Okay. Set those over there. Let's see if some people come into the room. I always come on early so you people can get into the room. If you join me, please type in the chat area so that I know that you're here and acknowledge it. I will go live and start everything at 8 o'clock. I always come on early to allow people a chance to log in. Yeah, we have 6 more minutes. Good time for a bathroom break or go grab something to drink as I did before we get rocking and rolling. Hi, I see 2 people to join. So we're just waiting for 8 o'clock to get rolling. We still got about 5 minutes. So I would say go ahead and grab something to drink, use the bathroom, scroll a little bit. If you're in the room, say hello. I will acknowledge you. I see a few people are in. I always come on early to allow people to get logged in before I get started. So as soon as 8 o'clock hits, we will get started. I just want a few more people to get a chance to log in because they know I'm here at 8 o'clock. It is 7:55 right now. Oh, hey Sean, how you doing? And Mark, hey. It's been a while. Yes, sir, it has been a while. We'll get started at 8 o'clock at 5 minutes. If y'all want to use the bathroom, grab something to drink, hang out. We will get started with tonight. Like I said, I come on early to allow people to get into the room so that we can start rocking and rolling. It's been a great week. I'm almost finished school, college. I just finished up. I'm just pretty much finished up my last assignment for my last class, and then I got my project to do, which should take me 2 to 4 weeks. I'm planning to do it in 2 to 3, and then I'll be finished my master's degree finally. Oh. All right, let's see what time we're at now. Still got 4 minutes before we get rolling. Mark, you been on any good ghost hunts lately? I think I'm taking a group up to Denver with me for a weekend in October to do some kind of some ghost hunting in some of the old mines and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, bestie, how are you? Glad you could join. 3 more minutes and we'll be rolling. And my other and then there's Mark. Last weekend at the Haunted Hotel. I'm sure that was a lot of fun. we're like I said, I'm gonna be getting with my besties and a few people. We're gonna be going up to I'm gonna try to take them up to Denver. There's a whole paranormal group up there, and there's a lot of activity. Not at the hotel where they did The Shining, but there's another hotel that's up in the mountains where the miners used to go, where they have incredible evidence. So I'm going to be arranging a little weekend trip up there, um, to go visit and sense those places. Because when I go up there, it's mainly for the mediumship side of it, to help people sense in those areas. Delise, I don't know. I did get a message, but I don't think it was from you. Is it on Messenger, Delise? Hey, Tina, everybody's logging in. It must be near 8 o'clock. Yep, couple more minutes and we'll get rocking and rolling. So I am going to talk about that. So in October, or maybe September, it's whenever Trini and I are going to go back. I'm going to arrange some friends to get together, and there's a bunch of places. They have the school there, they have the shooting there. You can get great EVPs there. There's the theaters there that where the other shooting was, and then there's tons of old mining areas where this heavy activity. So I'm going to take some mediums or some people who are sensitive up in those areas just to sense the energy and see what they sense and what they feel. And we may get something. We'll have to see. Those trips were usually pretty interesting. The hotel we went to, Trini and Tracy. Tracy's the one that's going to be arranging everything. Um, they said actually a broom flooded floating down the hall following the group as they were going through the haunted area. So that's going to be really cool. I will let y'all know. I'm going to get with Tracy and I got to get with Trini and see what weekend we're going to go up there. Probably towards the end of September or beginning of October. Hey, Kathy. It will be a lot of fun. Tracy and Trini and Tracy both were investigators there for a long time, and Trini moved, but she goes up there regularly, and Tracy is the main contact there, and she's absolutely wonderful. KJ in Kenner this Saturday. Oh yeah, for my birthday party at 10 o'clock. Everyone is invited. Yes, I should be there by 10:30. We'll cut the cake at 10:30. I have a gallery at 7. I should be finished no later than 10, 9:30, 10. Then I'm going to drive straight there, and it's kind of uptownish where I'll be coming from. Yeah, you'll get to celebrate my 65th with me if you come. Oh, I'd show you I got my Medicare card now. Ooh. Oh, all those years of tearing up those AARP forms. Oh, it's after 8 o'clock. Let's get rolling, folks. Sorry about that. Good evening and welcome. Oh, I gotta go. Hold on. I gotta go live. Here, 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to Touching Eternity, the podcast. I am your host, Sid Patrick. Come join us tonight for a lot of fun and conversation about metaphysical topics and talking about mediumship and other things that involve the other side. So that's going to be a lot of fun tonight. So and I'm going to do some readings at the end. I'll pull some cards and do some readings for people. Anyway, while we were talking and I got carried away with the time, we were talking about, this Saturday at KJ's in Kenner, we're going to be celebrating my 65th birthday. Everybody is welcome to come. There is going to be cake. I don't know what else is going to happen, but I should get there around 10 or 10:30 because I do have a gallery that night. Saturday, I'm totally booked from 9 a.m. till 9:30, 10 o'clock on Saturday night. So I'm working straight through. Trini's going to be in town as well. Her and I are doing an event from 9 to 11. Then I've got one by myself from 11 to 1. And then I got an event from 2 to 5 and then with Trini. And then I got one by myself again from 7 p.m. to about 9:30ish. And then I'm going to head on out to KJ's and meet everybody there around 10ish. Okay, everyone is invited. My besties are going to be there. The usual crew is going to be there. It should be a packed night because usually Saturday nights there are pretty packed. So come out and join us at KJ's. Also, this Friday is a gallery with Trenny Simmons and I. If you're interested in coming to see a gallery, go to my website, book your seat. Trenny and I do have seats open. I don't remember. I think the last count was around 10, 12 we sold. But it usually does fill up this last week. I do have to post it some more. It is Wednesday. It's a good time to post it. So if you want to come see Trenny and I work, we will be at my home on Friday at 7 o'clock. So come join us and have some fun. Also, if you're in the mood for a little cruising, don't forget the Spirit Heart Cruise is going to be January 2nd through 7th. It's going to be on the Jewel of the Seas out of Tampa, going to Cozumel and that Mexican coast there, and there'll be tons of lecturers there. You can go to my website and learn more about that. My website is sid-patrick.com, or you can just type in Sid Patrick and the website will pop up. Okay, now that all that's done with, hey Rob, how you doing? So I want to mention again that when I was in Denver this past weekend at a conference, on Saturday evening, we went and did an event at the Creatory after I had finished the event that day, and then went to the Creatory that night, and we worked. And while I was there, a good friend there named a good friend of mine named Tracy was there, and we are going to be going back in September. But I'm trying to arrange something for everyone who's into the ghost hunts and all that, and the paranormal things. I'm going to have them taken to some really, really interesting places while we're there. I will have some galleries to do while I'm there, but I am going to arrange a trip for people who want to come. I'm going to definitely make it so that my besties can come along, because it's going to be, I'm teaching more of the mediumship side of it, and even if I'm going to book this either in September or October. Trini and I do need to go back because we got a lot of clients that want us to come back up soon. So we're going to wait till summer's over, and sometime in September, October, we're going to go back, but I may go back again depending upon how busy we are. So stay tuned. I'll be posting stuff on my website about that, and I'll be mentioning here in the live on Wednesday nights. Hey, Jill. Hey, Jill. And actually, Tracy's on. So, Tracy, I was letting everybody know about the haunted locations in Denver, and letting them know that we're planning something to have some people come up to have mediums go sense some of the history that's in some of these places. So I have a group that's going to probably come up with me. So we're planning that. Tracy's on. She's going to be our host. I miss you too, Christy. We're going to be... Tracy, tell them about some of the places. Type in some of the places that we might check out while we're up there doing some paranormal stuff. I'm waiting on Tracy. She's watching. Tracy is the one that's going to set it all up for us, folks, while we're there. So let's see. So Tracy said, heck yeah, I'll get some great stuff. Well, tell them about, type in some of the names, because people like to do a little bit of research before they go. Type in a couple of the spots that's open. I know you have the Columbine School there, where people get great EVPs. I know that you also have that theater there where they had the shootings. I don't know if that's anything going on, but I know there's a hotel that you really, really like. What's the name of that hotel? So people can start like looking at it and stuff. Yeah, Tracy knows all the good spots. Her and Trenny both know all the good spots in Denver. But Tracy's there permanent. Well, she lives there, so she's going to arrange it for us. So I'm going to get on a call with Tracy. I probably might even have Tracy on before the event. And once we get everything lined up and ready to go, I will have, hey, Taylor. Taylor's another person, another friend in Denver. Tracy, we're going to get everything together and we will present it, and we will definitely going to take you guys on a wild and adventurous tour. She said, well, some will depend, but I'd love to hit the Lumber Baron Mansion. Yes, that's what I would love to get. I've heard lots of things about the Lumber Baron Mansion. So Hopefully we'll be able to get in there. So so Tracy, check on that, and then we're gonna have a phone conversation, and we're gonna try to hook something up with a time and a date, and we will see if we can get people, preferably a weekend. Hey, Stacy Taylor, I miss you. I hope life is treating you absolutely wonderful. I miss you so much. But I'm almost finished school, girl. I just finished my last assignment for my last class, and once I turn that in and it's graded, all I have left is my project. And then she goes, oh, I have a couple of ins there. Well, that's great. So I hope that we can get in there. If not, I know there's tons of places in Denver. I'm surprised Denver doesn't have a good ghost bus tour, as many things that they have are in Denver area. I know the city kind of cracked down on some tax things about it, so I know that had happened. But anyway, enough about all that fun stuff that we planning to do with everybody. I know I miss you too, my love. Anyway, so I will have Tracy on when we get something more settled. I'm going to reach out to her on my messenger, and then her and I will set up a call. And then one Wednesday, when Magni's with me, I will have Magni bring her on screen for y'all, and we'll talk about the event. So we're definitely going to plan that. I'm hoping for October. I probably will go up to Denver before that just to finalize things and do some readings with Trenny. We have a lot of groups that want to still see us in Denver. So we'll be there. And don't forget, this Friday night, 7 p.m., you can get tickets on my website. Come experience Trenny Simmons and myself. We will be at the bungalow at my house. Anyway. So let's do this, folks. All right, so what is sensing? Let's talk about that. Since we plan on this trip, let's talk about that. So what is sensing? What I like to, so a lot of people are afraid of what they call paranormal. That's why I don't like to use the term paranormal, because for me, it's normal. Energy is normal. It's a part of life. It's what created you and me and everybody else on this planet. It's what helped the trees grow, and and development of nature and culture and all those wonderful things. Energy is everywhere, so it's nothing to be afraid of, or but you have to be in a clear space, a clear mind when you go to these places, because energy does affect you, and it doesn't, and it's never really the energy that's bad. It's the people. it's the human side of it. Energy is just energy. And it has different forms, and it has different frequencies and those things. So it's just really about understanding that concept, and you having a strong energy or faith with you. If you want to keep away negativity, if you want to keep away things that are, and negativity that comes at you isn't it's sent to you by energy through someone else. It's not the energy, it's the person sending it. And a lot of people don't understand that concept, but it's true. It's true. Energy becomes bad when you make it bad. Can energy kill you? Absolutely. There's forms of energy. You can get shocked. You can get cancer, but energy can also help you. It can radiate you, so they can see if you got a tumor in the right doses, so that you can get rid of it after it's done. It's not the energy that's bad. It's the way it's being used and the people who are using it. So remember that. And so when I take people to these, and I don't want to call them haunted places, because to me, haunted is energy-filled places. It's so if you're a practicing medium, you can sense it as long as your heart's pure. You can sense it without fear, and you can see the history. You can see what really happened, what took place. Sometimes those things are negative events. And if you are someone who cannot control or have gained control over your energy, then you go to a place that has this impactful energy. It can move you or do something. It can move you, and it's not that it's bad, but it's because you've not learned how to process it. And so I like to have that conversation with people, because energy is normal. Energy is natural. Now we can make it and create it so it's unnatural, and that's not always the best, because it depends on the person who's what they're trying to do with it. But most natural energy, or at least spiritual energy or residual energy, is nothing harmful. If you may feel negative around something because it might have been something negative happened, but what it is you're sensing the history, you're sensing the activity. example, like when I went to the plantation in Raceland, and I was walking through and sensing the history, in telling the people that live there the history, which was validatable. There was negativity there because there was deaths there because of prejudice and racism and bigotry. And but then there was an underlying love of energy there. There was also that love between the slave and the master's daughter. There was that love of that relationship. That compassion was there. So if you're a negative person, you're not going to feel that. You're going to feel the negative side of it, not the beauty of, even though it was horrible and painful, but the beauty and the love that was there, what people would do for true love. Those things are the things you should focus on. You can sense the history, know that something happened there. Also on that property, there was a house full of leopards, people with leprosy. And so you could sense that. You could sense the illness, but the only way it hurts you is if you go in not sure of who you are, not sure of what you're there for, and you are believing or thinking you're going to be cursed. You're setting yourself up to create your own drama, your own negative energy that's going to affect you. Oh, Tracy, we can also do a tour through Black Hawk buildings and cemeteries. That'll be cool. And y'all can look at history. So one of the things I'll have you do is walk from behind. If there's great tombstones, I'd have you go from behind and sense the person that not the person, because I don't want to use it, but sense what happened, and then go and turn around and see if you can get a date. When we went to the Goth house in central Louisiana, the Goth prison, I saw the dates, but I turned them around, and then the lady says, "That's not a date." And then we go inside, and it was the same four numbers I called out with the same four numbers on the sign. I said, "Well, there they are." I said, I said 18, like something like 1834 or something like that, but it was like 18, whatever it was. It was the same four numbers. When you turned it, it brought it into the 19th century. So it was numbers, like it's like 1839 or something like that. And then they turned it around, and it was like 1939, and it was the same numbers, just they were turned on 1938. It was that the numbers were just turned around, next a little bit. So you can sense those things. And so I want to take some mediums to these locations to see if they can sense the history. And there is a lot of activity, and you might see stuff, but you shouldn't be afraid of it. It's not there to harm you. It's there to say hello. It's there to say, hello, look at me. It's not there to harm you. Now, if you go in with fear and you're not sure of your own religious self or your own, or who you are, then it can. But it's you creating the effect on you. It's your own energy blending with that and creating your issues. So, energy is all around us, folks. And of course, with these new data centers that are raising everybody's electricity up, if you're near one, your price of electricity, I mean, it's energy, and that's going to cause negative effects because people can't afford to pay what those data centers are using. So anyway, just an example. So understand that, and that's why you will often hear me say that I don't believe in the paranormal. I believe in the normal that people just don't understand. Hence why they call it paranormal. And once you start learning to understand it and build a positive relationship around it where it doesn't frighten you, then you will be okay. And as long as you have faith, that's how faith is important. Anyway, I'm trying to see if anybody is on here other than people that want to be a guest on here, because I'm not doing that on TikTok tonight. But I'm just trying to see if anybody asks any questions. But anyway, so that's a little bit about energy and then how we should process it. As a medium, what I do is I go in an area and I feel the vibration. I feel the history. I sense what has happened there. And it comes very naturally because it took me years to get there, just as it will take you. Don't never stop. If you're interested in developing your intuitive side, never give up on it, and work on it at your own pace. Work on it in your own comfort zone. Okay? Work on it in your own comfort zone, because this is your journey in life, and you should be experiencing life the way you see it. What I ask you to do is step out of your culture, step out of your background or whatever you've been influenced to say or do, and really think about how you see yourself moving forward. How can you enrich your life? How can you bring true love and good things into your life versus dwelling on the pain? But we're taught how to deal with pain, but who teaches us how to deal with happiness? Y'all ever thought of that? Who in your life ever stopped and taught you how to deal with pleasure, with happiness? Think about that. All your life, you're taught how to deal with pain, how to deal with negativity, how to deal with drama. But did anybody ever taught you how to appreciate the good things, the more positive things? You know, taking that deep breath of fresh air and being thankful that you were able to take that breath instead of taking it for granted. Think about those things, and you will start seeing the negativity breaking from around you. It'll start crackling and move away from you because there won't be any room for it. Guys, this is part of energetics. I know y'all hear me talk about my energetics class all the time. Yes, I'm teaching one probably in September, October. It's gonna be there, but start understanding how it works, understanding how the law of attraction works. Everybody bought the book The Secret, thought that if they just said these things out in the universe, they were going to happen. No, you have to create them. You have to create it first by taking and going inside of yourself and letting go of pain. Turn pain into understanding. Turn pain into your strength. Turn negativity into positivity. These things are crucial in life. Encourage people to be the best versions of themselves. Never be jealous of someone. Maybe be a little disappointed in yourself if you've allowed yourself to be taken down that path. But always, always, always strive for the people around you to become the best versions of themselves and enjoy their journey in this life. We're all taught from culture and family and upbringing that everybody should be married with 2.5 kids. That's not for everybody. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Children are beautiful. They're the little angels of the world. Those are going to be the people taking care of you when you get older. So giving them the strength and courage rather than being jealous or negative towards them, give them positivity, feed them, let them feel pain. Don't shield pain. I actually had that when I was in Denver. Someone asked me, how do you see my kids growing up? I said, well, that really depends on you. If you're going to let them learn lessons, or you're going to mother them to death. Because kids need to feel some pain. They have to learn how to navigate away from it. If you don't teach them that when they're building their skill set, when it does hit them when you're gone or out of their lives, they don't know how to deal with it, then which causes a problem. So allowing children to problem solve little things is really, really great because it helps them see things in a different light. It makes their little mind create and work, which is a good thing. It'll help them stand on their own and help them create wonderful things to help support us old people. So, allow them to grow. Those are the future. The children are the future, as Whitney Houston said, right, in that song. But they are the ones who are going to be taking care of you. You don't want them to be selfish or greedy and put you in a home and forget about you, and you don't have any visitors and you die alone in a dark room. That's not pleasing for someone. So learn to be loving and learn to appreciate the little things. That's what makes life so special, and enjoy your life. We all lose people in our lives. And most of us will lose our parents before we go. Some of us might lose a child before we go, or we definitely usually lose our grandparents before we go. So we should all learn how to cope with that pain and how to use it as a strength versus a pain. How to learn how to let love go through there, and we can celebrate our loved ones and never forget them, because the memory is what keeps them alive, and it's the good memories that keep them functioning and moving towards you. When I do a gallery, one of the things that I did. Folks that don't understand what a gallery is, a group of people where someone will come out and connect to the other side and give them messages and or give them words through validation that their loved ones are still with them. That's what a gallery is about. And so in a gallery setting, they should all, you know, the personality of the person usually does come through. And we have a lot, you know, we have a lot of beauty, but there are some that come out a little snarky, or maybe they don't talk so much because maybe they didn't in life. Their personalities usually will come through first, you know. So it's, again, it's all about connection. And what I wanted people to understand, that, you know, a lot of people come to see a medium or someone who's communicating, and the first thing they want to say is, you know, if the evidence isn't what it needs to be, that it's the medium's fault. No, it isn't. It's also your fault and the spirit's fault. It's a three-way connection, and the medium can only give what they get. And if they're not getting much, that doesn't always necessarily mean that they're bad. It just means that they're not able to connect the three sources together, because it is a three-way connection. Always remember that. So if you're practicing your mediumship or you're practicing connection, don't be fearful of getting it wrong. That is the number one drawback, is that people, when they get something wrong, they want to stop doing it. They think it's silly and all, and you know, all kinds of, but I can tell you from the years of doing this that it's real, and it's stronger in some instances than others. You know, it's never really the medium's fault if it's bad. Now, if they come harass you for money, or don't refund you if it isn't any good, then that could be a problem. Yes, some are very hilarious that come through. No, and yes, we do have, and yes, that does happen a lot, Tina. In my galleries, I have people laughing and crying at the same time, you know, cracking up, and because sometimes your loved ones come through with their personal, and that's what you want. That's validation, you know, and that's the medium's purpose. The medium of the three, the medium is the least significant person there. The connection is yours. We couldn't do it. A medium couldn't do it without you. The connection is yours. That spirit person is yours, you know. And that's what so many people don't understand during a gallery reading or even a private reading. You know, you know, some mediums can sit there and just, you know, give evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence, and sometimes you just don't connect with it. You know, and so it's not really the medium in that case. I mean, they could be giving you evidence and everything is there, but it's, some people go in with a planned notion of what they want to hear from that medium, and that medium has no idea. They can only give you what they get. They can only give you what their language that they've created with the other side gives them, and it's through sensing. Hey, Mark, my bestie, another bestie. Oh, like her great aunt, the nun. You're talking about her bowel movements. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Tracy. Tracy was at my gallery in Denver, and her aunt that was the nun came through. We had bowel movement discussions. Yes, you can't make that up. And let me tell you, folks, and I'm going to tell, I shouldn't actually record this, but this did happen, and I am very embarrassed about it. So when I'm reading, I'm in right brain, right? And there was two lovely people in the back of the room. And there was a black gentleman there, and he was absolutely wonderful. Let me start by saying that. Very, very lovely gentleman. And when you're in your right brain, you're not thinking. And like all of a sudden, so from my childhood, there was a woman who kept this gold tree, and it had little round picture things that you would hang on it. And I told this poor black man that I saw his dead grandmother hanging from a tree, and then I said, in a picture, and I had no idea what I said. And Trini didn't catch it. Magni caught it. Said he liked to died in his seat, and I'm like, oh, I felt so bad that but then I explained, you know, this is and I described, and afterwards I described, like, I didn't even realize, but I was describing the tree, and I was describing the pictures that were hanging, and he didn't get it, but Tracy got it. And so after the gallery's over, her man goes, you know, you had me really worried there for a minute. I'm like, why? He goes, you literally told that man that you saw his grandmother being hung from a tree. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. And so that's another thing you have to remember. When we're in our right brains and we're just given the information and telling what we see, sometimes things come out and it's not meant to be harmful or discredited or anything like that. But that actually did happen to me this weekend. And I kind of feel bad. But I think the guy knew that. I think he was like I'm saying, this guy was genuine. He was a very nice man. He was sitting right behind Tracy, actually. And I actually said that. And I didn't even realize it until we left. But I do know that after I said that, I was explaining the picture in my head and explaining the tree, the gold tree with the round pictures, and it's a memory of mine that the spirit brought back to me, and so that's why I knew that this had to do with somebody that was in my line. And I think Tracy understood it, but not the person, not the guy behind her. But anyway, those things happen. So again, when you're in your right brain, you're just being genuine. You're just being yourself. You're giving what you get, and sometimes it will make you laugh. Sometimes it will make you feel embarrassed as hell when it's over, like in that situation. Um, did somebody lose somebody in either some kind of air accident? It's really weird. I do have a client that's I wonder if she's online, because all of a sudden I got that vision. I do have a client who lost her sister in a parachuting incident. And I actually just saw it again, so I don't know why that happened. Anyway, if anybody can own that, put it up there and I'll see if I can go further for you. But that was wild. I just saw like a plane, like an air accident in my head. That's crazy. Anyway, so back to helping you understand what goes on in your head. Is when you're in your right brain, you're just giving information. And somebody got hit on the side of the road. What is all this travel stuff? Now, y'all know that I talked to Miss Janice, and August 15th, we have an eclipse that's going to create a lot of change in a lot of people's lives. Know that I said that to you. Okay? So wherever your sun is in your chart that area of your life will be very affected around August the 15th. Know that I said it. So those of you who are my astrology people, go find out right now where your chart is, where your sun is in your chart right now. I think it's called a progressive chart when you're doing where you're at today, and know that wherever your sun is in the houses right now is what's going to be affected on the 15th. Expect change or loss. Tracy just sent me a photo. Let me see if I can see that photo. I'm still on TikTok, I think. I don't think I got disconnected. I hope not. Let me see. Oh, yes, Tracy sent me a picture, of the circle with the tree with the yes, thank you, Tracy. So that was for Tracy. That was for Tracy, and I hope I didn't lose TikTok. Let's see. No, I did not. So anyway, so Tracy just actually sent me the picture of the circle with the picture and it hanging on the tree. But like I said, I was in my right brain, and I just said to this poor man, I see your grandmother hanging from a tree. And oh God, I was so embarrassed when Maggie told me that. But anyway, so anything can come out of the gallery, just to let you know. And Tracy, thank you for that validation. Makes me feel better. I just wish this man was sitting right behind Tracy, and and then I went to Tracy after that, right after that, or right before that. I was coming from Tracy. It was we were just going down the line, reading everybody in the room. That gallery lasted a long time. We started at 5:30. I got out of there at 10 o'clock. I'm like, what was wrong with me that night? I think Trini and I were on a roll that night. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So, guys, does anybody have any questions about mediumship, about readings, about connection, about the spirit world, about the paranormal? This is the venue to ask your questions. There's no judgment here. ask away if you have any questions. I'll be trying to watch TikTok, and I know my bestie Jamie is going to help me watch TikTok as well to see if anybody says anything, because I get a lot of people. A lot of the stuff I get are just people saying that they've joined. Oh, somebody says my girlfriends don't back down. Oh, me. Okay. That's funny. All right, let's see. Trying to scroll through to see if I missed anything here on TikTok, guys, because it doesn't always scroll for me. Sometimes it doesn't move, and then I got to scroll through and see if anybody said anything. A lot of people joining as guests. I see Taylor is still involved and sending me some love, some hearts. Okay, I think I'm up to the end of the feed. I think it was only that one message. And then Tracy said, I thought it might. Yes, so anybody has any questions about that? I know y'all all want me to read, and it's early still. We got time. It's early. I'm going to read a little bit, I promise. I always do. I might do symbology tonight. Maybe a little numerology. Tracy asked a question. She says, how do you narrow down the messages you're receiving? If that makes sense. I know everyone reads and sees differently. Yeah, so for me, I'm very clairvoyant. So that's probably my strongest gift. I get tons of pictures in my head. Those pictures are in black and white. In contrast, there seldom is any color, and they mean things. Like I know I got this one. They just showed me the Amazon sign, so I'm sure somebody got some Amazon today out there. But anyway, that's that's a go-getter. But anyway, so how I do it is whatever pictures are the clearest are the ones I got, because the pictures come fast. They very like flashes of light and and the pictures can change or move. Sometimes it can even form like a little video, but normally it's just a flash of a picture. Depending upon the clarity of the pictures, that's the one I grab onto. Because that tells me that if I'm in a gallery, that tells me that's the strongest energy that I'll be able to stay with and hold. Because once I link with you, then I got to hold it, and I got to try to keep talking to you. But then again, other people are trying to jump in at the same time. So you try to stay focused with the most clearest energy that you have. And as it starts to fade from me, it'll drag me to somebody else. It'll bring in some new stuff. Look, Glenn goes, yeah, Amazon FX. I just saw the little Amazon little smile. I was like, why are they showing me that? That's a given. Just about everybody gets Amazon almost every day or every other day. And then Tina writes, Tracy, I'm trying to figure out how do I deliver the messages. So what I tell people, so messages seem to bother people a lot. What people need to remember, hey Debbie, what people need to remember is the most important thing that a medium does is validates life. So as long as they give you valid information about things you can relate to, then that's a good reading. Messages may come, messages may not. You know what I'm saying? So what I like to do is tell people, if I'm getting a message, what they will usually do is give me a bunch of pictures that say something, like they'll mean something, and or I'll tell them in my mind. I'll say, all right, tell me why you're here. Is there something you want me to say? And then they'll show me a picture, and I will use that interpretation. But I also feel a lot, smell, and I do hear, and I do taste. So again, it just depends on what's hitting me in my emotions and my senses of where I go with it. And that's me personally. Some people see just like they say, but what I've learned through teaching and through all the times that I've been a student and have been working with people is that what a medium says is not always exactly how they see it, but it's what it's their interpretation of what they see. And some will say, well, yeah, I see it just like that. I can't say I think it's true in some cases, but I think it's mostly not true in most cases. That it may be a combination of senses that are working at one time in that fashion. So I'm going to tell you that, Tracy. And okay, and when you receive a sign, How do you ask them, who are you? I don't, because Debbie, it doesn't matter who they are. If I'm getting a sign for myself, it doesn't matter who they are. Now, if I'm with a client, then I will try to tell them by wherever, however it positions to me, as who that is to them. But one of the questions I get a lot in class, and this might help relate to your question. One of the biggest questions I get sometimes is, who's my spirit guide? Who's working with me? Well, why bother yourself? Why focus on that? As long as you're getting accurate information, who cares who's giving it to you? No, if you truly are a medium and you understand the spirit world, you know that all of them are here all the time, 100% of the time. And you need to give, and here's the part that I think should scare you. If you're a working medium, you need to know, okay, that the people you're reading, you may see again when you get to the other side. So you better do their loved ones right. If you are a true medium, you would not be a fear of death itself. You may have some fear about the pain of death itself, but you should not fear death itself. I mentioned something to Trini when we were in Denver, and I thought this might, I don't know how we can turn this into a cool idea. Maybe y'all can give me some thoughts on this. But you know how, coming into life is celebrated, but going out of life should be like exiting life. Transitioning should be just as celebrated. And you know how when you have a baby shower and you bring stuff for the baby because they coming in, you doing stuff. Well, I think there should be a death shower or a passing shower. You can call it something nicer than death shower, but when someone passes, something that might help the family get through this time and help them celebrate their loved one versus being mad, angry, or fighting. You know what I mean? Like that concept of the death shower, or just like a baby shower, because it's a transition. It is a part of everybody's life. As is birth, death is the same type of transition. So you shouldn't fear it. It's when it happens, it happens. In the meantime, the only way you should be upset is if you haven't enjoyed your life. But then you can't blame nobody for that because it's your fault. Yes, we should come up with a business to. I agree, Tracy. We can do death showers, or we have to call it something else, because that almost sounds like transitional rains or transitional showers. But when you transition in life, but it would be great, like to have somebody there who's a grief counselor at the shower. Do fun games or fun activities that the person who passed would do. Just like you have play games at a baby shower, do that. Maybe have a medium there who would help, connect and do those things. I mean, make it like a small party in honor of the person. Have a big picture of the person that passed there, with some good candles, and play some of the music they like to listen to. Have everybody come up and talk about the one that passed and how much they loved them. Think about how healthy that would be. But anyway, so if I have any more questions. Yes, we do need. So how can you tell if messages from a medium psychic is genuine and not an assumption or a fabricated story? So this is how you do that. Okay, Delise. So people will tell, if you've ever seen me and Trini work, we're going to tell you things that you can't find on Facebook. There's no way you could possibly know. We're going to see things. We're going to talk a lot about the person's personality. There's no way we can know that. There are things that we're going to talk about around the death, like how they died. And we're going to give information that maybe wasn't so public. Now, will a medium get things wrong? Absolutely, because they may be misinterpreting what they're getting. And then we get people who come to our shows like, I want them to say just one thing. If they say, like, I had that the last one at my house. It was actually, I wonder if Naomi's here. I think it was a friend of Naomi's, or it might have been Naomi. It might have been Naomi. When her husband was the only one that wasn't read, and Trini sent me to read him. So I went to read him, but you can tell he didn't really, he either doubted it or he didn't want to be read. So the first thing they did was brought me to the wedding that the loved one that came through missed, and I believe it was Naomi said to me, "Yeah, she is there. She is. I think it was you, and I think wasn't that you and your husband at the end with the wedding, the person that came through and said, and you said to me, that's what I wanted to hear. It was something that I told them to tell you that. I mean, you can't get better evidence than that because I sure as hell didn't know that. I mean, and so and again, a medium is not going to get everything 100% right, but how a medium handles a no tells you how professional they are. If they fall apart when they get a no, then they're probably not a good medium. If they get angry if they get a no, that doesn't mean that, because I mean, we can only give you what we get, and once you understand that, I mean, it's it's yeah, she says it was, thought it was Naomi. So I'm glad you were on tonight to validate that story, Naomi. Thank you, sweetheart. Still opened my mind and my heart. So again, like I said, we never, we do get people who come in that want to hear that one, and that helps them. Do we get it all the time? No. Do we get it a lot of times? Yes. We never know what we're going to say when we walk into those. So Tina just wrote me a letter. So I'm going to read Tina's letter. Tina says, what is the difference from intuition that something is going to happen, and after I express my concerns to the ones that should have heard my fears to change, the set did not listen to my words. My daughter and husband took my car to go to Lafayette to pick up my granddaughter up. I received a call stating that my husband had to blow through a red light to keep from running into the back of my vehicle. It should have been a warning sign to be aware. They came home and she was behind the wheel. Oh, it was a sign to be aware. And they came home and she was behind the wheel. The thing keeps moving. When she pulled over with a ticket for doing 57 and a 45. Unbeknownst to her, her license was suspended. She also got that ticketed. Well, Tina, some things are supposed to happen in life, and maybe that's going to teach her to be a little more responsible. It wasn't like that was a bad thing. I mean, it could have been a lot worse because somebody could have ran into him and hurt somebody, but they didn't. So that might be just a lesson to be learned. And again, people will make their own decisions. Look, I once told a girl not to take a trip. I'm going to make this short. Told her not to take a trip, and I wouldn't tell her why. I found she was a regular client. She told me, Sid, you never did do this to me before. You have to. So I told her, I said, I see you being raped. Don't go. She went, she got raped. She came back. She blamed me, and then I never saw her again, but like I tell people, well, you didn't listen. You shouldn't have gone. If you did, that's on you. She said, I put it into the universe. No, you did when you didn't listen. That's on you. That's your life. You don't want to come see me. I'm okay with that. If that makes you feel better, not coming to see me after telling you that, and then you went against what I told you. I said, that's on you. I said, I'm not here to harm you. I said, but it's what I saw. And you asked me and I told you. I agree. Ask family members to read them. Yes, yes, and it's really good when you talk about people at a service. One of my best friends had passed at a very young age, and we went to the funeral home. But at the funeral, we all went to a restaurant, and we set up a mic, and everybody was drinking, and we all talked about our great memories that we had, all the crazy things we did with my friend, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you, Naomi. I'm glad to have you. Now, try to keep the therapy projects going because I need it too. Debbie says, when I saw you, I was in a hurry and grabbed my daughter's prayer box. It was not a test, but if I talked to my daughter and I said to her, I bet you bring up my prayer box in my pocket, LOL, and you said it. Yeah, sometimes sometimes that will happen, and sometimes it don't. Yeah, and well, so intuition. So Tina goes. I said it was intuition. She said I manifested it. That's what the girl said about me with the rape. But here it is. So what's the difference between intuition and manifestation? Not much. Okay, one is energy that we use and we create with our thought processes, and one is just us knowing that that's going to happen. That's how it works. And if she didn't want to listen, that's not on you. That's on her. That's definitely on her. I'm just scrolling to check. Let's see if I missed anything. Jamie, please alarm me if I miss something on TikTok. Well, anyway, so that is just someone who's trying to put the blame back on you for doing something out of the kindness of your heart. I never expect people like so I never expect people to always believe everything I say, because I know that with the path I have led for myself, I have seen things that most people will never believe. I have seen so many miracles that people would not believe. They would think I'm lying. Luckily, most of them I have witnesses to, but most people would think I'm lying because they haven't walked in my shoes. So I can't be angry with them. I cannot be angry with them, if they don't believe me or they don't understand. I'm okay with that. They have their own issues to deal with, and so I tell you, never take that personally. Never take that personally. And then Debbie says, when my daughter was little, I felt an overwhelming sense she was drowning. After when I got home, our boat was gone. And later on, when my husband got home, my 3-year-old said, I drowned, Mommy. And my husband said she took off her life jacket and fell in, and I jumped in and got her. So no, yeah, you will sense that. That's that mama-daughter connection, girl. That's powerful. You know, that is powerful. You're right. A lot of people don't want to take the accountability. You're so right, Tracy. And that's the first thing I teach in energetics, is that you have to be accountable for who you are. You can make the change. If you come to my class, I will give you the tools to make the change. But if you choose not to make that change, that's not my fault. It's not my fault you wasted your money and came to my class. It's that you didn't believe it enough to instill it into your life. And that's on you. That's not on me. That's on you. And I talk to people all the time. I'm managing my own journey through life. Look, I'm 65 years old, just back in school like an idiot and working 2 hours away from my home. Life brings change. Am I happy right now? Yeah, I'm happy. It's okay, but would I be happier at home in my bed every night with my hubby right next to me? Absolutely. But life has things that need to take place. And so to create change, you have to try different things. I've tried selling my house twice. And I have a gorgeous home. And can't sell it. Can't sell it because it's not time. Because it's not that it's not a good house. It's not time for me to make that change. But I have to initiate it, right? Or I would never know. I would never know if there was anything else out there for me. You have to initiate change. And yes, Celeste, if you're on, you need to keep that house up for sale because you need to create some change in your damn life. Okay, Celeste? Okay? So understand that, No, you should never feel horrible about your brother. You know, you know, everybody has their own journey and their own purpose. Remember that. Remember that. Everybody in your life, there's a purpose. They're there. There's a reason for them to be there. And sometimes it's that you need to learn a lesson. Like I told people, even with my own father, I'm not sure what I wanted. He come from a family that had a bit of abuse in it. And he was against it. Like he would go fight with other people or he'd go threaten people who were abusing other people in his family. And some of those family members might be on to clarify that. But they respected my father. But his father was a bit abusive. And some of the brothers and other family members, there were some, not all. I'm not going to name names, but there were some who were a little abusive to their children. And I know that because I grew up with my cousins and I got to see the bruises. I got to see the things that I shouldn't have seen at such a young age. But what I also realized too was that my father was taught love through abuse and mishandled, but he didn't do that to us. But then there wasn't that strong love connection between us because of it. But he did break the chain. So I have to respect the man for that. I have to respect him. We didn't get along for a lot of years. I have to respect him for that. And so, yeah, so with your brother, you learn to understand why he was that way. Go in and see the anger in him and what caused it. I'm not saying forgive him. I'm saying understand him so you can let it go, and then see how what then think about what you've done in your life to grow from it, to let it go. I once had a class, Deidre goes sexually. I once had a class, and it was about 28 people. It was a mediumship class. And in that class, I asked people, because we were talking about negative feelings that people get. And so I asked people in that class, how many people here have been sexually abused or assaulted? The entire class raised their hand. All 28 people. Amazing. That was amazing, because that told me that there were like-minded people energetically being pulled together to try to heal, which I thought was beautiful. And Sean says, how do you tell the difference between a spiritual message, your own intuition, and your imagination? Because they're all the same thing, Sean. Pure thoughts are spirit-guided message. Remember, you are a spirit. Remember that. You are a spirit. I love people who go, is my house haunted? Does my house have ghosts? Well, yeah, the minute your ass walks in it, it's got a spirit in it, okay? Because you have a spirit. That's your soul, okay? So your soul communicates or interprets the energy around you, and it feeds it to you. Now, it has to go through your right or your left brain. Now, this is where it gets confusing for a lot of people. If it goes to your left brain, you're going to try to make it practical. You're going to try to say, oh, this is just me making this up. This is my imagination just trying to talk to me, and so you're going to blow it off. If it goes to your right brain, you're going to create it. You're going to look at it and say, okay, I'm having this feeling. This means something. What does this mean? And then you're going to speak what it means. That's how it works. That's how the messages work. If it goes to my right side of my brain, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to see what it's showing me. And somebody in here has two religions. They practice in two religions. They're in the house over two. It's really weird. Just like double crosses. But anyway, like I'm saying, that's how quick the pictures pop in and out. So, talking and saying this to you. So you have to understand, those are all three connected. Your intuition, your imagination, and the spiritual message are all the same. It depends on what side your brain accepts it and where you process it. If you're a very left brain person, you're going to think this is fake. This is just me making things up. But if it goes to your right brain, you're going to get creative with it, and you have to trust it. You have to help it go to the right brain and understand where it's at and use it and create with it. And then that's how it works. So there is no difference between the spiritual message, your own intuition, and your imagination. They're all the same. It's all the same. It's all coming from your higher self. It's all coming from your spirit. Your spirit's like an antenna, and it's out there communicating with everything around you. Okay? Sometimes if you know when to pull back from something, because of your brain has that spirit out there looking at things, and you might go to touch something, oh, that's going to be hot, or oh, that's not the way I need to go. Your gut's going to tell you something, and sometimes you'll believe it, and sometimes you won't. Trust is the hardest thing to teach somebody in this practice, is to be able to trust, and especially because most people that drift to this field have been through some type of abuse, and so already they don't trust. So having them to pull through that and learn to trust again is something you can't teach that. I can give you tools, I can give you things, but that has to come from within. That has to come from within. And the center brain, let's just have some fun. Absolutely. Well, the center brain is running back and forth, like going, which way do I want this to go? Which way do I want this to go? Many of you will know that when I'm working, a lot of times I'll carry a rock or a stone in my hand. And it doesn't matter what kind of stone or rock it is. I do like my alligator rock that I haven't been able to find in a little bit. I don't know where I put it down, but it's somewhere. So I've been grabbing other rocks. But I'll work lots with rock, man. It's just to help me stay creative in my right brain. It helps me funnel things more to my right brain than my left brain. That's just a little thing that I just say, you don't need that. No, I don't need it. I can work without it. It just helps me when I'm doing long galleries or shows that are hour, like Saturday, I'm going to have a rock because I'm working from 9 in the morning till almost 10 at night. So I'm doing almost 13 hours of continuous reading. So I'm going to be brain fried and needing a drink when I get there to the birthday party at KJ's. Y'all come out and have some fun with us. But anyway, um, back to, but I will have a rock with me all day Saturday because I'm going to be reading so many people, and I have to be fresh. And I do have a little break in between to reset my brain between each one. And I have a little spare time for food. So, we'll be going there. So to answer your question, Sean, they're all the same, and you have to learn to trust the information that you're getting. Trust it. And the other big tip I tell people who, again, and you've heard me say this a million times on here, one of the strongest things you can do is learn how to read a story to your grandchildren, to your kids, to the neighbors' kids if you don't have any kids. Read stories to your pets if you don't have any children around you. But grab a book, like a kid's book, read halfway through it, set it down, and finish the story. What that helps with is having you comfortable in your rhythm of speech so that when you get in front of people, your story will flow and not be broken up. You'll see a lot of new mediums get out there. And if you want to see this new medium, I did that. You go to my YouTube, you go to the very beginning when I was at the church, when I was at Unity Church in Metairie, and I was doing my first galleries that I've ever done. You can see the difference in my way I carried myself then and the way I carry myself now. You'll hear a lot of ums and a lot of and a lot of breaks and pauses and me trying to like figure it out. You can see it, but now it's just fluent because I've been doing this for a long time. I've developed my language. I am seeing things much more clearer because I've cleansed my brain. I've cleansed my energetics around me. Things that were bringing me down, I have pushed away from me. Things that are building me up, I bring closer to me. Other than work is work, work is work. But everything else, that's what I do. And so I recommend you to get that going for yourself as well. Start living your life again. Get off the sofa, get out of the house. Oh, God, I can't wait to school's up. I haven't been out of the house in a year, y'all. I'm telling you how to get out of the house. All I'm doing is schoolwork every night that I get a chance. All right. Anyway, let's do some readings and some card pull because it's getting late. Debbie says I have too much white matter. Actually, that makes you more intuitive, Debbie. Believe it, people with Alzheimer's and dementia are more intuitive than people who don't. So white matter doesn't stop you from. It's actually putting you more into your right brain. Know that it's hurting your left brain because it's hurting your cognitive thought. But anyway, let me break these up. All right. If you type me a question, I will answer it with 3 cards. If you just want a card pull, I will talk to you about what the card's making me feel for you. So I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, Debbie, at a gallery, but I say a lot, but like we can connect to people who have Alzheimer's or dementia and they're still living because they're living in that right brain. And somebody says, "Can I have a card pull, please?" Yes, Missy, you can. TikTok beat y'all to it. So yes, it's definitely true. So Missy, you got the High Priestess. That's all about your feminine energy. It's all about your feminine energy. It's all about you getting into yourself. It's all about you creating knowledge for yourself. Now is the time for you to learn. Now is the time for you to put your claws into what you want to know and move forward with it. Okay? So that one was for you, Missy. I last saw Missy first. I can't believe I got TikTok first today. They beat them to it. And let's go. Here we go. Let's see. Let me go back. Wow, I'm doing. Come on. Am I doing the right thing by cutting off my family members? It's how you cut them off, Tracy. You can cut them off, but cut them off with love and respect. That's what it's all about. And hey, is that Hazel says, "May I have a card, please?" Yes, you. Oh, Hazel, you got the Ace of Cups. That's all about relationships. That's all about binding things and making commitments. Stop being scattered. Make commitments. Move forward things. Maybe there's a new love or a celebration in your life if it's somebody you've been with for a long time. Okay, Hazel, and then Debbie wants a card, please. And then let me see. Oh, Mrs. The path I'm on. Am I okay? All right, I'm gonna pull for you. That's Mike. I'll pull it for you in a minute. You have travel. Um, this was for Debbie. Debbie, there's travel for you. There's something with the family that's going to create some travel. Know that that's coming up. Mike wants 3 cards. Mike, I got the King of Pentacles for you. I got the Page of Pentacles upside down, and I got the Balancing Act upside down. So what that tells me to tell you is that right now there's opportunity for you, but you keep pushing it away because you're not sure if you should do, you're not sure if you should go through with it. You're not sure if you needed. These things will help reward you and give you grounding. So take chances. Go out and try to do something different for your life and for yourself. That's what I'm going to tell you with those 3 cards. And then I have Glenda. Glenda, you have the 3 of Cups. This is all about the celebration, bringing celebration back into your life, bringing back things that make you happy, learning to celebrate even things when they're not going good. Find a reason, find that little piece of white light in it to help you celebrate. Okay, and then Christy says, I stood up to my, okay, and spoke the truth. Will I regret it? Ooh, it looks to me by the 3 cards I pulled that you're going to do more punishing of yourself than anybody else. So she got the 3 of Swords, she got the 7 of Wands, and she got the upside down 5 of Wands. And that's all about internal battle, and it's all about being too hard on yourself. Let it go. Say what you have to say, let it go. If it comes back at you, who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit, Christy? Live your life, girl. Speak your mind. Say your piece. Cynthia wants a card, please. Cynthia, you've got the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is all about getting back to your family, your friends, getting back to them, learning to have little celebrations and enjoying those people around you. That's what the 10 of Cups is about, okay? That was Cynthia. And then I have Delise wants a card. So, Delise, you've got the 6 of Wands. And 6 of Wands is all about victory. It's all about beating something and getting ahead of the game and foreplanning and doing those things that can help you move forward with your life. That's what this card is about. Take that and move forward. And then I have Stacy. My son has a big career choice to make. Will he go back to the same job or move to a new company? So what I'm going to tell you is that your son will make the right choice. What he needs to look for, Stacy, because you asked the question, you got 3 cards. You got the Emperor, you got the Queen of Wands, and you've got the World. So this is a life decision for your son. This is a very important time. He needs to make sure he makes the right choice. There's a very powerful woman that's influencing in one of these areas. He needs to pay attention to that, and he needs to give himself an honest evaluation and then make the choice. I think he'll make the right one. Okay, and then Diana Maldonado wants a card. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so talk me Sims. You've got the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands, Dina, is all about putting you back to the bullshit. Move forward away from it. Building strong boundaries, and especially if it's a wand, this could be career-based, so listen, both career and life when I say that. But again, it's about moving forward, not looking back, not living in the past, only looking at where you see yourself going to help you move forward. And on YouTube, Kathy says, will my health improve? I'm dealing with an autoimmune related condition. So I'm going to pull 3. And what it says to me is not right now. Down the line, there's things you need to do in order for it to get better. So what I'm going to say to you, Kathy, is a lot of things I tell people to check, put them when they have an autoimmune disease. This is what I refer people to look at. Again, I'm not a doctor. Don't expect you to listen to me, but this is what I suggest. Look at your fears. Look at what makes you nervous and upset and address those first. Become stronger from within. That helps push the autoimmune disease away. Then go see a good naturopath and see if there's something like a parasite or something causing that flare, because that is a thing. And if you do those things, that's just recommendations. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do, but I do believe that you should always let your doctor know if you're going to try anything. I usually tell mom after, but you should tell them before. And I'm actually going to test. I've been working on my liver now for about 4 years, and I'm going to see if it's gotten better. My labs have gotten better, but I need to see if the liver itself has started to heal, because my liver was starting to go into failure about 4 years ago. But I feel great and look great and feel wonderful, so I think it is doing better, and it's because I went and got rid of the parasites that were inside and affecting my liver. And I think that's helped tremendously. I will give you all a follow-up when I get that test done. Next week, I'll let you know how that worked for me. Okay, and let's see. Naomi says, I'm thinking of opening my own home decor store. Should I do it or keep working out of my house? Well, girl, I ain't got to pull a card for that, but I will. I already got an answer for you. So what it tells me is that I kind of see the 3 cards I got was the 3 of coins. I've got the unwanted visitors, which is the 5 of coins. And then it tells me I got the 10 of wands. And what it's telling me to tell you are these things, Naomi. Until you have a strong enough support group, I probably wouldn't own my own store. Owning also comes with a lot of responsibility. A lot, your things that we're selling are going to have to go up in price because you have to cover rent, electricity, utilities, internet. All that's going to have to be put into a store. And so that's going to drive some of your products that you're selling up so that you can make them. Then you're going to have to hire help. So I would say right now, I don't know how well you're doing with your home decor from home, but if you do it, internet is the new hot wave. I say keep trying it online first, and then if it gets, maybe if somebody really wants to invest in you, maybe do like a franchise deal with somebody else, open it, take on responsibility, you just sell them merchandise, girl. That's how you make the money. Okay. All right. Take them to somebody who own their own store. It's a lot of work, girl. All right. Okay. Let me see if there's anybody over here. Oh. I don't see any questions or people say pull a card for me yet over here. Okay. So, all right. Yep. So yeah, that's what, I think that would be a really great thing for you, Naomi. Like I said, I've owned a store, and I luckily I knew my landlord, it was my sister. So that kind of helped a little, but not really on the emotional side of things. But as far as the cost of things, yes. But you're looking at about, for a decent building, about average $2,000 a month. That's on the low end per month just to have the building. You got lights, utilities, upkeep, because most of those leases make you do the upkeep, or do you do the renovation work. So it's like, do you want to? Right now, I would continue to sell. If your products get really hot, maybe someone else you could funnel stuff to their store. It's not as hard on you. You don't have to deal with employees. That's the one. Employees are rough because when they don't come to work or they call in, you're it. You got to go, and you might have already made plans or an appointment that you can cancel your doctor's appointment, but they can't cancel theirs. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and then there's more taxes, and it's a lot. It's a lot of other expense that I don't know if you're ready to put forth. All right. All right, so folks, again, it's my friend from I should invite her on TikTok. Let me see if she's there. I've never hit an invite. I'm going to try now. Let's see if she's there, because I'm going to teach a class at the end of the month. It won't let me invite her. I'm hitting invite. So I thought that's what that does. I was hitting invite and it didn't let me invite her. Oh well. Hey Lisa. Lisa joined over here. Anyway, I was going to invite my friend Tammy because I'm going to be in. So after this weekend, the next weekend is my real birthday weekend, which I'm going to the Gulf Coast for. My bestie's going to be 10. That's why I moved the party to this Saturday versus next Friday, because we would have had to cut the party early because my friends are going out of town the very next morning early. And I wanted to go to the Gulf Coast for my birthday because I'm going to enjoy the spa, and I am going to enjoy the steak restaurant, and I am going to have me a marvelous time. I've already got my room. They were comped, so I will be there. But that's that's the weekend of the weekend of the 25th. The first weekend in August, at the end of July, beginning of August, I will be in Las Vegas at Las Vegas Crystal Healings, teaching an intuition class and helping people connect to their loved ones and helping them do exercises with their intuitive self. So that's what I will be doing in Las Vegas the weekend after. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. I will have fun. Debbie, I live life. Life to me is grand. Who comes, comes. Who doesn't come, doesn't come. That's okay. I don't care if it's just me and Magni. But I know my bestie. Them bitches better be there. Oop, did I go there? Because they still listed. But anyway. Oh, they got all hide when I get there. The mother friggos and make me think I'm there by myself. But that's okay. I'll have a good time by myself. I live life to be grand, like all of you should. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you for the happy birthday. Yes, it's early. My birthday's actually the 25th, but we're going to celebrate it this Saturday because the 25th I plan to be in a spa getting a facial and getting a mud wrap and getting my scalp massaged and getting wrapped up with the wrap with all the mud on me, and then taking a hot steamy shower and getting a 50-minute massage after that, and then going upstairs to get dressed to go have steak dinner. That's what I'm doing at my 65th birthday, the day of. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you, Glenda. So, everyone, I went over a little bit tonight, but you guys are worth it. I don't mind. Love you, Tracy. Tracy, we need to talk soon, because if I want to do this in October, we need to get together and put it together so that I can create people what it's going to cost them and things like that to make this journey to Denver. Now, y'all, we're going to go to Denver, but stay away from the weed stores, okay? I don't go to those, but they're all over the place. Hey, Zeta. Girl, where you been? Anyway, I love you all. I've had a wonderful night with you. I will see you next Wednesday. By next Wednesday, I should be finished all of my classes for my master's. All I have left is my capstone. So then I have like 3 months. I have 2 months to do my capstone. Like I have until September, sometime in September to do my capstone. So I got lots of time, but I am going to try to get it done. Thank you. I've got over 100 messages. They thank me. Oh, someone says at the end, can I get a card? Absolutely. You'll be the last one. I was going to get ready to sign off, Bridget. Bridget, hi, Bridget. Bridget Lange, I know Bridget. Let's get Bridget a card. Of course you can get a card, love. Girl, you got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is all about taking your worth and moving with it. Understanding your value and moving with it. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's able to take control of what's going on with them and move forward. Is that Las Vegas Crystal Healings coming in? Oh, it is. Tammy, are you there really? Yeah, I don't know how this works. So let me see if I can bring Tammy on real quick. I see she's there. I don't know how to get her on screen though. Let me turn it up. Tammy, can you let me turn the volume up? Maybe that's why. I can see her. Hey, Tammy. So everybody on TikTok, I'm going to show Tammy to the screen so the other audience, can you hear me? So everybody, that's Tammy in the lower corner. And Tammy is my friend at Vegas Crystal Healings. You do have a website, right, Tammy?
I do. It's VegasCrystalHealings.com.
So VegasCrystalHealings.com. My girl has the best rock collection in the entire country. She has she has warehouses of rocks, okay? Like she has to go dig, but if you're looking for it, she can find it. She can find any stone you're looking for. So she's wonderful. She's a phenomenal healer. I am going there at the end of the month to teach a class on intuition. If y'all want to call her or look up Vegas Crystal Healings and join the class, come on to Las Vegas. I might swing you a little good luck.
Come out.
Come on out and come see us. All right, folks. I do have to go. I love y'all, but it is getting late and I have work tomorrow. So love you guys. I will see you next Wednesday, and thank you.